chillin' in Alaska, swimming in Atlanta, vultures out in Beemore, they Kira, Carolina, they wildin' in Chicago, howlin' down in Big D, Mile High in Denver, that Tallahassee pride is deep, they lunching in Vancouver, Desperado shooting, the renegades on the loose, the hyenas looting, gold out in QC, who higher than them sparrows, the furies swooping in divine order for the pharaohs, Indy on the rise, the sharks about to mash, gladiators, knights and Aztecs about to clash. Welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see the all-pro party. Now welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see an all-pro party. First and 10, I'm so aggressive. The end zone, the game plan, no pressure. They gotta pay me how they measure me. You know these haters on my back like the referee. You know I'm in it to win it. Gang, I'm about my business, I gotta get it. So I'm all about my ends. And these non-stop wins. They can't touch us, can't touch us. We turning up on these suckers. You know the D brought the ruckus. Cause we tighter than the huddles. Welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see the all-pro party. And welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see an all-pro party. Yeah. Third down is going down. Round and pound, oh, we gotta air them out. That's why I gotta hit the route. Hit the flat if I catch it, then I'm out. 40 inches gotta take. YOLO, just no pump fake. So tighten up and hit the power high. The audible and draw them off sides.
Ryan Michaels gets a block midfield. Ryan Michaels, he could be gone. Trying to be cut from behind, he will not. Touchdown, Houston.
Welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see the all-pro party. Now welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see an all-pro party.
Yola shakes it. Oh my goodness, and Yola gets away. Jay Yola on the first play for Tallahassee is going to score again. Left side, Odom gets away. Odom breaks another tackle. Ash Odom, you've got to be kidding me. Big chase, 10-5 touchdown. Oh my word.
Tonight, it might as well be the playoffs because the New Orleans Pharaohs and the Atlanta Swarm are the first two teams on the outside looking in. The Pharaohs, with a victory tonight on the road against Atlanta, not only will redeem a 10-6 loss in the final minute in their first meeting, but they'll also take the automatic qualifying spot back from Houston, heading into their rematch with the Hyenas next week. Atlanta's got just as much on the line. It's the Pharaohs and the Swarm next on the SFL Network on Twitch TV. Hello and welcome inside the Hive. They're buzzing tonight. The Week 11 Fan Night Game of the Week. New Orleans Pharaohs 5-4 against the 5-5 Atlanta Swarm. Alongside Scott LaRue on stats and Stephen Mullinex, I am Cameron Irvine. How you doing, Stephen?
Yeah, doing wonderful, Cam. Great to be here on some Monday Night Football, some Monday Night action. And these are two franchises, Cam, that I think really have struggled to find their identity and are really keying in at the right time and really need to make a statement in this game, not only about who they are, but trying to get to the postseason. The New Orleans Pharaohs, we saw them struggle early, especially in the passing game, and so much of their identity was in running back bonkers, but that started to equal out as the seasons progressed. And for Atlanta, of course, you've got, the stalwart names and Aquantis Shine and BDG Hollywood, but I think the presence of rookie quarterback Marcus Dunhill has really balanced this offense out. And now let's see if they can get hot at the right time as they head possibly for a postseason berth.
Do you got your tiebreakers all ready? Do you know who you're rooting for? Let's go. Kick it. We're underway. From the 11, Atlanta, and they're all blacks, and L.B. Allen III returns it up to the 28-yard line. New Orleans, and they're all whites tonight. Pretty uniform combo out there on the field. Marcus Dunhill is the quarterback for the Swarm.
Yeah, nearly 2,500 yards so far this season, 13 touchdowns, 18 interceptions, but one of the lower completion percentage, just at 63%. He'll be looking to use a lot of his running back tonight.
1st and 10 at the 28 for Dunhill, and Marcus Dunhill starts the game with a deep ball into double coverage that's intercepted. Intercepted on the far sideline by Rolliman Hood, the undrafted rookie, and what a start for New Orleans.
Well, I'm not exactly sure what the rookie quarterback saw here. Clearly, his receiver was double covered, and good job there by Hood just to be able to pluck the ball away before he goes out of bounds. But boy, just a rough start here. If you're in your own stadium here in Atlanta.
Wow, what a start for the Pharaohs. Up a half a game on the Swarm, still with 3 games left to play this season after that early bye. And Gold's going to shovel it to Bonkers on the first play. Bonkers breaks a tackle and picks up 6. Bonkers, one of the best receiving backs in the SFL.
Boy, Cam, I love that call. Just spread out the defense with 4 wide receivers. And then the little shovel pass to Bonkers right in the middle of the offensive line. And there was nobody there. Just an easy game for 6 yards.
2nd down and 4 at the Swarm 44-yard line. 10:23 to go in the first. The handoff goes to Bonkers up the middle. Bonkers has a first down, breaks a tackle, and then gets dragged down to the Swarm 35-yard line. All New Orleans in the first minute.
Well, that's nothing new for Bonkers there. Just a powerful, speedy back. 829 yards on the season, 10 touchdowns, but really a dynamic wide receiver out of the backfield. 80 receptions already on the season.
1st down and 10 at the Atlanta 35-yard line. 3 receivers, 2 to the left side of Gold, who's changing the play. The number 1 pick in the draft, Xander Gold, fires it outside. Pass caught, turn to the sideline, gets bumped out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Pass is caught by Leroy Brown. And, Stephen, we were talking about it in the pregame. Xander Gold, who had a rough start to his rookie season, has really picked things up.
Yeah, we saw during that first couple weeks of the season, the chemistry between himself and his new wide receiver core just wasn't there. He was delivering passes, on the numbers, but his receivers were really failing him, not catching the ball. They've improved as the season's progressed.
And Gold to the outside finds his hot target, Matt Wolf. He is the only receiver over 300 yards receiving, not including Bonkers, on the outside, and definitely Gold's primary target.
Yeah, 56 receptions on the season, 683 yards, 5 touchdowns. But again, Bonkers, number 2 in the SFL in receiving for a running back, outpaces Matt Wolf, the top wide receiver.
7 in the box, traditional 4-3 look for Atlanta. 4 wide, spread them out, 2nd and 6 for Gold. Gold on a slant, pass caught by Brown. 1st and 10, just outside the 10-yard line for the Pharaohs, who are trying to take full advantage of the Dunhill interception on the game's first play.
And those are exactly the type of plays that these wide receivers weren't making at the beginning of this season, and it's really made a change in this offense. Be able to get a conversion like that, now 10 yards away from a touchdown.
Gold to throw. Gold to the end zone. Pass is knocked away by Pat Ketza. 2 of the best, or one of the best secondaries in the SFL and one of the best corners.
Yeah, no doubt. Ketza actually number 1 in the league in pass defense. That was number 18, Cam, for Ketsa. He's also got 8 interceptions to boot, so not someone you want to test in the end zone.
Building a Pro Bowl type year, I would say, and we've got some Pro Bowl news coming up later this week, so don't go anywhere. We got a lot of news coming this week. Going to be an exciting week in the SFL. Xander Gold is going to be sacked, a loss of 4 yards in the backfield. Atlanta gets to him with Joey Malcolm at defensive tackle.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good sign if you're Atlanta. Not really known as a team that gets a lot of pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Their 2-star defensive ends only have 5.5 sacks total on the season.
3rd down and 14 to the 14. Now Gold is going empty. Backfield with 5 wide. And Gold is going to fire to the back corner of the end zone. The pass is incomplete. They said he was out of bounds. Matt Wolf, I had to check the FAR official. Looked initially like he may have gotten the toe in, but they rule it incomplete. And there is a challenge. Here we go, Steven.
Well, Gold really trying to drop it in the bucket there. A difficult pass in the back corner of the end zone, trying to loft it over the defender. You'd like to see the receiver get his feet definitively in. I think it's 1.
Definitely got 1. So now it's up to what they want to do, and that play is going to stand, and New Orleans is going to be charged a timeout, and the befuddlement of what is or isn't a touchdown continues in the SFL, and the Pharaohs lose an early timeout, and Atlanta gets a half stop.
Yeah, missed opportunity there, and if you are the Swarm defense, an early victory for you after, the very first offensive play in the game is an interception.
We saw a touchdown last week with just 1 foot in bounds. Typically, we've thought of it as 2 in the end zone and 1 on the sidelines. This 31-yard field goal for New Orleans is good. The kicker is Zen Lee, and the Pharaohs have grabbed an early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, from what I have seen and I understand it, who knows what R62 thinks, but it's 1 foot in bounds, certainly in the field of play, and 2 feet in the end zone. But like you said, it appeared that they let a touchdown go last week with just 1 foot in the paint. So, maybe it's our camera angle. Maybe we're not seeing what's actually, what the officials are saying. And obviously sometimes we disagree with their call.
From the 10, Allen the third on the return out to the 28-yard line. And so Marcus Dunhill and the Swarm will start again.
And then, here we go with the confidence issue again, Cam. This is obviously a rookie, a quarterback under center. He's got, 9 games under his belt, but is he shaken by that early turnover?
We'll find out. Dunhill will drop it off to Hollywood. Hollywood's got some running room, but a couple of sure tacklers on the outside wrap him up after a pickup of 7 yards, including McDaniel II. Let's meet the rest of the Atlanta Swarm offense as we catch a replay. Marcus Dunhill is the 10th pick in the rookie draft, although at this point in the season, nobody really feels like a rookie anymore. The receivers are Boo Chisholm, the 4-year veteran, Siege Falco, and L.B. Allen III, 80, 17, and 19 on the field, respectively. And then, of course, BDG Hollywood, also in his 4th season in the SFL, 6'2", 210, wears number 34 in the backfield. 2nd down and 3 at the 36. 2 in the backfield for Dunhill. And the handoff will go to Hollywood, and Hollywood only picked up a couple to bring up 3rd and 1.
Yeah, just, we talk about the Swarm. The Swarm are on the offensive side of the ball at this point right in this series. But really, that was the Pharaohs swarming there, and just a lot of congestion for Hollywood to try and push through.
3rd and 1, Chisholm to the top of the screen. They're going to give it off to Hollywood again, and BDG Hollywood gets it done, picks up a solid 5, and moves the chains for Atlanta, who have come out a little bit more conservative on this second possession.
Well, Hollywood was only 5 yards away from reaching that 1,000-yard rushing mark, and
congratulations.
So there you go, another 1,000-yard season under that big man's belt.
Amazing, terrific career for BDG Hollywood. Another 1,000 yards in the books as Hollywood looks around and with pace and patience picks up 7 to the Atlanta 49-yard line. A very patient run. Donk Bonkers, by the way, needs 171 yards tonight to get to the 1,000 mark.
Well, what vision by Hollywood there. I mean, it looked like he was stopped and was going to go for no gain, but able to really peel off to the left-hand side and find an opening and squeeze through for 7 yards.
2nd down and 3 from the 49-yard line, and Dunhill will fire it outside to Chisholm. 1st down. Atlanta going no huddle. They can feel the momentum.
Yeah, had a buffet there. Had 2 receivers to pick from and just found an open one that he liked. Got the good completion.
1st and 10 to the 37. Dunhill going quickly. Now fires far side for the first time since the pick. Pass is ruled incomplete. I thought Falco had it, but instead, no challenge, and Atlanta wants to keep the pace up. 6 in the box for New Orleans. Dunhill going to throw. Same play, and the pass is caught by Falco, turning the corner out of bounds to the 18.
And I thought it was a completion on the previous play, but this hurry-up just really didn't even allow for a challenge flag to be thrown or enough time to review it.
5:55 to go in the first. 1st and 10 for the 18. Does he dial it up again? Falco will dump it off to Hollywood. And Hollywood picks up 7. Dunhill drops it off, rather, as Falco had the last reception, is in at the top of the screen. 2nd and 3 at the 11. Atlanta trying to take the lead here. Dunhill going to throw. Fires middle. Pass is caught by Allen the third. Steve, we only had 1 touchdown last time these 2 teams met.
Well, you can see the adjustment being made here. They are hurrying up this offense. They've got this defense right where they want it.
1st and goal with the 3. Dunhill fires end zone pass. Cut. Touchdown Atlanta. Boo Chisholm.
Wow, Cam, what a comeback here for Dunhill after that first disappointing interception. It's just marching down the field, one after another. Then boom, boom, shake the room, touchdown. Atlanta, this stadium is buzzing.
The Swarm will kick the extra point to go up 4. That's how they beat New Orleans last time, 10-6. And already Atlanta reversing that rough offensive trend from their first matchup to get the early touchdown and to go up 7-3. And a look at the playoff picture, Stephen. This game important for Atlanta because they only have 2 left. They still have a bye left on their schedule, so they need to make impressions and quick.
Yeah, and they are, at 500, you've got to at least be happy you're still in the hunt. But the unfortunate part is that you have a lot of company and not a lot of games, so this is a must-win for Atlanta.
New Orleans down a timeout as well from the 9-yard line on the return. That's Arrington, I believe, back there. That's actually Howard, and I think Arrington that's interesting, Stephen. I think Arrington may have been winded from that last series of no huddle plays and wasn't out there returning the kick.
Yeah, that no huddle just probably took the fatigue factor way down for everybody on defense.
5:19 to go in the first quarter. 1st and 10 at the 28. What a tremendous drive for Atlanta. One of their best of the season. Gold pump fake. Now dumps it off short. Missed tackle. And then eventually a 6-yard pickup for Quincy Williams, the reserve wide receiver, the 4th wide receiver, getting things done.
I can't tell you how much I'm liking what we're seeing here early in this game from both of these offenses. Very balanced, using the running backs both as runners and through the air, as receivers out of the backfield, and I can't say enough about Atlanta and how they've come back from that early turnover.
Yeah, it feels like a playoff game, no doubt about it here in Georgia. Check down, fullback, big man going nowhere. That's Brock Cartwright. Is there any more suitable of a name for a fullback than Brock, as that loses a couple yards?
Big man going nowhere. That was my nickname in college. Bringing back the old memories.
It's funny because I can see it. 3rd and 6.
Yeah, I'm not joking.
At the 32, 4:16 to go in the first. 3 wide, 2 to the left. Gold, deep drop back now, fires far side, caught. 1st down on the deep out route that nobody could catch. That is Ermac Jackson making the play. And that's another receiver that's really stepped his game up over the last few weeks.
Yeah, it's only 22 receptions on the year, but I really just love the route that was called for him there. You know, you want to, early on in the game, you want to try to establish these wide receivers, make them comfortable, give them the kind of routes that allow for that kind of separation.
I formation for New Orleans, 3:40 to go in the first quarter. Gold's going to throw again out to Bonkers. Bonkers picks up 3 yards, and so far tonight, Xander Gold is 8 of 10 for 46 yards.
Yeah, a good start for Gold. And you know, even in those early games, Cam, we could see the potential of this young quarterback. Obviously, the #1 pick in the draft, so a lot of faith in his abilities and who he is as a leader and a person. And we saw that early on, and now it's really starting to show.
Gold out to Bonkers, took a shot, and then Bonkers is tackling the field of play. And I was going to say, the only guy that I think could have made that play that big is Aquantis Shine, and that's exactly who that was on the tackle.
Yeah, Shine, #1 in the league right now. 105 tackles on the season through 10 games. The guy averages 10.5 tackles a game, and he's done so through his entire career. Like, double-digit tackles is a normal game for this guy.
Shine may be the next player in the Hall of Fame. 3rd down and 5 at the 45 now. Gold caught, first down to the Atlanta 43. Pass is caught by Matt Wolf, and he doesn't get enough credit, but first-year head coach David Yance, man, this guy, he's not very vocal in the SFL community, but they have stayed very patient in New Orleans.
Yeah, clearly something is starting to click with this team and the coaching staff. I think they were good from the beginning, Cam. Their players weren't executing the game plan.
Gold hit as he threw. Pass is caught right on the numbers. Touchdown, New Orleans. What a throw. That's why you draft him #1.
Rumble, young man, rumble. Xander Gold making a name for himself here in this critical game. How does he get this pass away, Cam?
Wow.
He is getting slammed in the middle of the chest with a helmet, and he puts the perfect dime into number 11's hands, and Brown able to shake that tackle off, get in the end zone. Boy, that's a highlight play that we're going to be rewatching.
Steven, this is literally the complete opposite game from 5 weeks ago between these two teams. What are we watching here? This is so exciting.
I'm loving it, Cam. I feel like I've been in an SFL desert here in our past few games. Some low-scoring affairs, and then all of a sudden we see these fireworks. Clearly, this game means a lot to both of these teams. They know what's on the line, and they are putting on a show.
Bits in the chat. Football Dude 93 with the 200, now tied top of the leaderboards for the week that just got reset. I'm effing problem with 300 bits from earlier in the game for Atlanta's touchdown. We had a couple of hundreds early as well, but are gone now from my chat room, so my apologies there. 2 minutes to go for Falco as he returns it up to the 28 here in the first quarter. Chat shoutouts, Katunika, Ethan Kai 66, Football Dude 93, Mix the Gamer, who just cheered 500 bits to get to the top of the leaderboard. Thank you, Mix. PB and Jotter, Mahmoud Ajlani, Gooner Bear 94, Vancouver Legion, Biotech the King, C. Pundy, Xander Gold, Crewnox, TMG 82. I'm sure I'm missing a few here. We got a big chat, active chat tonight as Hollywood is near a first down. And nobody's caught my Easter egg yet on the broadcast yet tonight. I'm disappointed.
I didn't even know that you laid one.
You never know.
Well, maybe they can go back a little bit and try to figure it out. But look, let me tell you what is an Easter egg in this game. Actually, is Hollywood in the passing game, Cam. He only averages 1.8 yards per catch in this game. It's been well around 6 or 7.
Hand off to Hollywood, and he didn't get it. 200 bits to Gooner Bear 94. And Eric JWA, I see you. Wanta, I see you. Vancouver Legion says there's no cam, and we don't have to see your ugly mug. Wondering if that is, in fact, the Easter egg. You're a real jerk. Real jerk, pal. Third, I'm going through some cosmetic changes. 3rd and 1, Hollywood, first down. We'll be back for the playoffs. We'll be all buttoned up for the playoffs. All SFL HQ seems to be recently is just Musk. 1st and 10 to the 39 for Hollywood.
Yeah, and look, the Swarm weren't fazed by the fact that Hollywood didn't gain a yard there on 2nd down. Gave him the ball again. They know where their bread is buttered when it comes to those short distance needs, and Hollywood's been cashing in for years.
1st and 10 at the 39. Dunhill fires outside to Chisholm. He catches that one for 5. And Chisholm now with 3 catches here in the opening quarter, Stephen. And sometimes Atlanta goes through stretches where they just can't seem to figure out how to get Chisholm the ball. This is a really good sign tonight.
Yeah, it is. And he's been primarily the guy they look towards in the red zone and the end zone for them. And why not? He's 6'4", 210 pounds. He's got 4 touchdowns on the season. But you're right. He just inched over 50 receptions on the year. Used to seeing him have bigger numbers.
Again, outside to Chisholm, picks up 3, a long 3 to bring up 3rd and about 1.5. Gets out of bounds with 9 seconds to go. I see you, Ethan Kai, as we're just about to head into the 2nd quarter. And what a game we've had. We've had 4 possessions, 1 pending, 3 scores. And it's just been fun all the way around. That is the end of the 1st quarter of play. What a dandy. New Orleans 10, Atlanta 7 in a game between 2 teams desperate to move into the playoff picture. We're back to the Hive after this. APM Music is the official theme music provider of the SFL. Listen to their Champions Will Rise soundtrack at apmmusic.com. and visit their all-new esports landing page to find the best highlight music, heroic action, and epic sounds to boost the quality of your esports stream just like us. Log on to forum.apmmusic.com/esports for more information. APM Music, production music library and custom music house. The Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music, is also brought to you by Show Business Studios, MediaTek Institute, Richards Printworks, ScoreStream, and Spygoat. Back in Atlanta here at the Hive, and Stephen, a developing storyline that some people in the chat saying that that they're not seeing Aaron Arrington on the field. We also didn't see him return that kick as Hollywood breaks a tackle. There goes Hollywood, and Hollywood's got a first down. I'm canvassing the field for Aaron Arrington because he may have gotten hurt somewhere in that no huddle that we just didn't get a chance to see.
Yeah, well, you know, for the folks at home, that's number 24 on the Pharaoh side of the ball. That's the white jersey. So look for 24 here. We did not get a notification that he's been hurt.
But in the no huddle, there might have, I don't know if, I mean, you would think the clock would have stopped or something.
Yeah,
so
we'll have to see.
I mean, definitely a focal piece out there for New Orleans. That was out there at the beginning of the game. 1st and 10 at the 37. The handoff goes to Hollywood. Hollywood bouncing around and picks up 3. And that brings up a 2nd down and 7 from the 33. Of course, Rolliman Hood, who's out there, already had an interception on the far side. And haven't seen him move around yet.
Now, both Hood and Arrington coming into this game had 3 interceptions each, and now Hood increasing that by 1 on the very first play of the game. But yeah, Arrington, don't seem to see him on the field. I'm wondering what happened there.
Pass caught to Allen, and still up. Now we got another player injured here for New Orleans. That's Coleman Fletcher.
Wow.
And everybody dropping like flies here for the Pharaohs.
Well, we thought it could be a fatigue issue after Atlanta went to that no huddle early. And thought, well, that's the reason. That must be the reason why he's not on the field or not making those the kick return there. But Yeah, I'm scratching my head. I'm sure that's what the New Orleans is doing as well. Where's one of our best players? Why aren't they on the field?
First down and 10 at the 21-yard line. 9:56 to go in the second, and that pass over the middle is caught for a 9-yard pickup out to the 12-yard line. And that is L.B. Allen III.
Yeah, and we're talking about the defensive side of the ball and a couple of injuries that we've seen here early. But look at Atlanta's offense; they just are clicking down the field. Whether it's Hollywood, whether it's Dunhill, they are just methodically moving the ball right now.
Handoff goes to Hollywood, picks up a first down at the 7, and Atlanta's moving the ball some more.
And this is where it's critical for Atlanta, as that Pharaoh defense gets closer to the end zone, their own end zone. They get compacted, so it's going to be harder for Atlanta to try and get anything done in this area. This may be where New Orleans is able to put up a wall.
First down and goal, pass outside, caught by Chisholm. Second and goal, outside on the 3 with 8:55 to go in the first half.
Yeah, I say that, and then Chisholm's left pretty much wide open. And if he had an opportunity to maybe turn up the field just a little bit, that's 6. So I'm wondering what's going on here in this Pharaoh secondary.
Second down and goal at the 3, 8:46 to go in the first half. 10-7, Pharaohs on top of the swarm, but Atlanta's driving again. 2 in the backfield, handoff to Hollywood, and Hollywood won't go anywhere. Great tackle up front, and that will bring up a third down and 3. The tackle made by Andre Daniels at defensive end.
Yeah, and I think the Pharaohs really just sniffed that out. They were able to determine, Hollywood's been running well against this team. They stacked the box, able to read that 2 tight end set and determine that the ball was going to go to Hollywood and really swarm to that area.
Dunhill, third and goal, near side, caught, touchdown, Siege Falco, and Atlanta goes back up by 3.
Well, we saw signs of this 2 plays earlier, Cam, where this New Orleans secondary just left the receiver wide open on a similar out play. And Falco here, there's just nobody within 10 yards of him. The easiest pass of the night so far for Dunhill, and allows this swarm offense to once again get into the end zone.
So Atlanta will kick the extra point. They go back up by potentially 4, and we've had 4 possessions and 4 scores here on the Fan Night Game of the Week, as both offenses appear to have corrected themselves or just have the mismatches tonight, because they're certainly coming out to play here.
Yeah, after that initial just great defensive effort to get the interception, really I think more of a bad pass by the quarterback. It's almost as if the controller for the defense has been unplugged, because these offenses have really just marched down the field and done anything they wanted to do, both in the run game and in the passing game.
So the kick is away from Atlanta. On the return, this is Howard with the apparent Arrington injury, as it's 1st and 10 from the 27. Again, if Arrington, speaking to people wondering about where Arrington is, if it was a simple depth chart issue, Arrington would still be returning kicks, so he's got to be hurt, and we just didn't get a notification.
Or we just missed it. I mean, that could have been a possibility as well. With so much action happening, especially when they're running that no huddle, sometimes injuries happen. We don't know what's going on.
And a deep shot no, they said it was caught. No way. Atlanta should challenge. And that, for the moment, will pick up a first down.
Yeah, I've got to see his foot here. I don't know if we're going to have the best of angles. Boy, I thought maybe he got his right foot in. And that's all you need there on the sidelines is one in here in the SFL. I think that's what they saw too.
So 5 wide for Xander Gold, and there was no challenge. No review, so Gold is going to throw out of the shotgun here on first down from near midfield. That pass is caught for the first down of the swarm, 37-yard line.
Well, beautiful play call here. Just running two players there on the slant, one stacked on top of the other, really giving Gold the option to either go to the early man or the far man, and there just makes the right read and goes to the receiver that's open. And boy, let me tell you what, Gold is looking gold right now. Just on target, on point. Both of these offenses are steaming.
1st and 10 of the 37, handoff to Bonkers, picks up 2. And Fletcher may not return, probably won't return with a knee issue.
Right.
7 minutes to go. I formation, 3 wide receivers. And the handoff goes to Bonkers. And Bonkers spins away nearly from everybody. Got a first down out of the Swarm 27.
Well, Bonkers there just has the speed control to hit the right hole at the right time. And his fullback does a good job of getting in there and sticking his nose in there and getting him just a sliver of daylight. And Bonkers does the rest with that speed that really can go the distance if you're not careful.
1st down and 10 at the Atlanta 27-yard line. 6:23 to go in the first half. The handoff goes to Bonk. Donk breaks a tackle. Bonk, whatever. Touchdown, New Orleans. Amazing offense continues tonight on Fan Night.
Yeah, and they're doing it in multiple different ways, Cam, here. And finally, we see one of these running backs break away. We talked about his dangerous speed and back-to-back plays really showcasing what he can do through the air, through the ground, on the ground. He really glides as a runner, Cam, and he can really speed through even modest holes to get those big gains just like that there.
6:18 to go in the first half. 5 possessions, 5 scores here in the ball game.
Yeah, we need to bottle some of this up for some of our other games, Cam, because this just feels so offensive. And we're not even at the halfway point of the second quarter yet. And I feel like we've got a full game of offense based on what we've had here recently. So real exciting football and a nice change of pace.
6:18 to go in the first half. New Orleans up 17-14. And this is, I don't think anybody expected this tonight. This has been a wild game as New Orleans kicks it away. We expected a close game, but the severity of points. Oh, what a hit on special teams against L.B. Allen. That was a Dallas Anderson linebacker flying in there, and now it's Marcus Dunhill's turn.
Well, if you are a role player or a bench player and you want to get your name out there and known, making plays in special teams is the number one way to do that, and that's a young man that might have just earned himself a bigger contract.
1st down and 10 at the 29-yard line, and the handoff goes to Hollywood, and Hollywood got just a yard.
Wow, the numbers there. Bonkers averaging nearly 10 yards a carry, but remember that's a lot of the last 2 plays there on offense. They really broke away, and boy, if he starts getting going along with their passing game, we could see some huge offensive numbers in this game.
Hand off to Hollywood, and BDG Hollywood's got some space, smacked by Kappa Jones, an underrated free safety, and that makes it 3rd down and 3 for the Swarm with 5.5 to go in the first half.
Yeah, Cam, so a lot of times we see games like this that are neck and neck. It's really down to who makes the first mistake. And we saw that initial interception really open things up here, but since then, they've been flawless on offense.
Hollywood, 1st down, through the trenches, just muscling his way to move the sticks, and Atlanta's back at it again. And if I'm Atlanta, I don't want New Orleans touching the ball again before the end of the half. Just eat away this clock.
Well, you can certainly get that done with a back like Hollywood in the backfield. He's a guy who fights for yardage between the tackles, but also has the speed to go, and turn the corner. So just a dangerous all-purpose back.
TMG 82, I see you. And the handoff goes to Hollywood, and Hollywood can't get anything. Really nice tackle there by Gary Bertier, who was picked up in Week 8 just before the signing deadline. That was Obi Okoye's old spot. So Bertier, a new face on fan night here, getting a tackle.
Yeah, Bertier and McDaniels the second. They are a strong linebacker duo, and I certainly will not finish calling their name tonight.
Hollywood again picks up a few. Brings up 3rd down and 7. Tackle made by Tank Bennett. And New Orleans making Atlanta earn it now. This is a critical 3rd down and 7.
Well, Tank Bennett, the second pick in the first round for the Pharaohs, 73 tackles, 4 interceptions from the strong safety spot. Real value there.
3:45 to go in the first half. Dunhill going to throw on a quick slant, nearly intercepted, and we have our first defensive stop of the game. McDaniel the second there to swat it away, and Jenkins will have to come out to punt.
Well, not necessarily known for his ability in pass coverage. Does have an interception this season, McDaniel the second, but really more of a short tackler. 74 tackles, 10 tackles for loss. A guy that's been doing it here, not just in New Orleans, but in Dallas last season. Just a sure tackling machine, able to get in front of the ball, not able to bring it in.
Vancouver Legion, what's up, man? 1st and 10 at the 19. I see you in the chat. 3:34 left to go in the first half. Off the Jenkins punt. Hey, Steven, Xander Gold, man, 3 for 3. He is leading a New Orleans charge here as the Pharaohs continue their ascension. And hey, listen, these two quarterbacks have combined now to throw 26 of 31 completions.
Wow, and that's amazing considering the fact that both of their running backs have been playing so well.
First and 10 of the 19, and Bonkers, there he goes! Doug Bonkers! New Orleans is all over Atlanta tonight. Touchdown Pharaohs!
Wow, the ability to take it to the house in an instant. Doug Bonkers on fire on the ground in his last 3 carries. The man probably has nearly 100 yards. You talk about a player. We've seen him here in the SFL camp. We've seen players get hot. I'm not sure I've seen a running back get this hot and be able to do what he's done just in back-to-back plays, back-to-back touchdowns.
Doug Bonkers now 130 yards on 6 first half carries for 2 touchdowns. New Orleans is all over the field right now. And the extra point will put them up 10, trying to improve to 6-4, which would then put Houston amongst the mess of wild card teams. Those two play again next week. And what a first half we've had. We pause just for a moment for a word from the SFL.
The Simulation Football League is presented by APM Music and is the official theme music provider of the SFL. Listen to their Champions Will Rise soundtrack at apmmusic.com today and search for thousands of tracks to boost the quality of your stream just like us. APM Music, production music library and custom music house.
So 1st and 10 from the 27 for LB Allen III. And the handoff goes to Hollywood, and Hollywood picks up 9. The Atlanta 36-yard line, now 61 yards for BVG, averaging 4 yards a carry.
And Doug Bonkers there showing you 129 yards so far here, and we still have 3 minutes left in the second quarter. Bonkers came into this game needing 171 yards to reach that 1,000 mark. Could certainly eclipse that tonight.
2 backs in the backfield, and the handoff goes to Hollywood for the first down. Hollywood out of the 41-yard line, 2:45 and ticking. but BDG Hollywood continues to run hard and move the chains.
Yeah, one of the most consistent backs here in the SFL, but I like what we're seeing out of both of these teams' offensive camp. We saw them pass and have success in the passing game early, and now both have found success in the running game. So really balanced on both sides.
And off Hollywood, and Hollywood only picks up a yard, and that may be the final play before the 2-minute warning, as Heath McDaniel II and a couple of other Pharaohs on that defense starting to sniff out BDG's runs up the inside.
Well, both of these teams came in as pretty lowly scoring offenses camp. Atlanta's 11th in the SFL with averaging 22 points a game, and the Pharaohs, even worse, at 14th ranked in the league, averaging 21 points a game.
2-minute warning. This is the SFL on Twitch.tv, presented by APM Music, the Fan Night Game of the Week. Second down and 9 at the 42, and deep ball, Dunhill, pass and triple coverage is caught. What a throw from Marcus Dunhill in triple coverage, and Chisholm's got 6 catches on 7 targets.
Well, I initially thought Blue Chisholm was going on a go route there, maybe a little bit of even a fade, but actually cuts it back inside into triple coverage, and still somehow Dunhill is able to find him amidst that ocean of white.
And off to Hollywood, he gets buried, loss of 2 at the 36-yard line. McDaniel II on the vicious hit.
Yeah, he's starting to really put his foot down and establish himself here. You know, really didn't even call his number or even see him much involved there in the first quarter, but certainly making his presence known here.
Second and 12 of the 36. Dunhill to throw, and Dunhill fires it outside to Hollywood, and Hollywood picks up just 4. Did get out of bounds. All 3 timeouts still left for the Pharaohs as 3rd and 8 looms for Atlanta.
And the Swarm are in field goal range here, right on the edge of it. So here on 3rd and 8, the one thing you do not want to do if you're the rookie quarterback, Dunhill, is take a loss or take a sack, because it'll push you at a field goal range.
5 wide now for Dunhill on a 3rd down and 8. Dime 3-2 look for the Swarm. As Marcus drops back to throw, floats one over the middle, and a dangerous ball is incomplete. Swatted away by Kappa Jones, but that was the most dangerous ball that Dunhill's thrown tonight since the opening pick.
Yeah, a rare bad decision. I think even the receiver had to come back to try and catch that ball because it was just underthrown. And as you mentioned, lobbed as well, so gave the defender extra time to get back there and tip it away.
This is not a gimme field goal. This is a 49-yard attempt for Alex Kidd to make it a 7-point game before the half. Atlanta's defense, which normally is pretty stout, has really let them down here in the first half at home. Good snap, good hold from 49 yards away, and Kidd's field goal is good. Alex Kidd, clutch points. It's a 7-point game.
Well, give Kidd a lot of credit, able to nail that long field goal as a non-contract kicker, but boy, just barely gets over the crossbar. But give a lot more credit to the Pharaohs defense, able to really, for the first time, hold Atlanta's offense that has been rolling a lot through BDG Hollywood, and able to really prevent them from getting in the end zone for the first time in a long time.
So we've had 8 total possessions. Now there's a flag. 8 total possessions, 7 scores, and an Atlanta punt. And this penalty might set New Orleans' hopes of scoring again before the halfback. And the clip on the Pharaohs will bring the ball back to the 14-yard line. That's on Ermac Jackson, who has 1 catch tonight.
The dreaded clipping call. You got to be careful with these officials out here. If you sneeze in the wrong way, you might get a clipping. So, they at least we didn't get to see a replay there of something that maybe that was non-existent. It didn't happen. But But luckily it happens here in the second quarter with only 45 seconds left.
1st and 10 of the 14, 4 wide for Gold, and he'll just hand it off to Bonkers, but why not when he's averaging a bajillion yards a carry? Malcolm on the tackle, the clock is running, and I think both teams may just be content here with the performance, just a 7-point game.
Yeah, the way that Bonkers is running, you know, that might as well be good as a Hail Mary. The guy can, obviously he's hot right now, can break one at any time.
Down to 16 seconds to go. Down to 13, down to 12. Gold going to throw, and Gold flips it out to the fullback. Brock picks up just 2, and half's going to run out, and that's going to be the end of the first half. And what a first half it was. Storylines aplenty here. New Orleans on top of Atlanta 24-17. The 2K Sports Halftime Report is on the way. And Steven, what stood out to you in that first 2 quarters of play?
Well, I'm very impressed by what New Orleans has been able to do offensively, you know, equally in the passing game and the running game, showing really great balance there. And let's not forget, they come into this game, they're the away team. They're in Atlanta. So to show this much offensive dominance this early is terrific. It bodes well for them in the second half. And, you know, and for Atlanta, I think just a good job of coming back after that initial interception. They've played well. They've played in their game. They've played in their lane, and they've been really consistent. So, you know, if there's any concerns about what's happening in this game, it's got to be on the defensive side of the ball and not getting enough stops. And I think that we'll see some adjustments here at halftime to maybe curb some of this offensive efficiency we've seen from both sides in both phases of the offense.
Looking at the tacklers, Kappa Jones and Tank Bennett have combined for 15 first half solo tackles, as you saw. Probably the best play of the half right there. Xander Gold's throw to Leroy Brown. Malcolm has the game's only sack, and these 2 first-round quarterbacks have combined to throw for 269 yards in the first half.
Yeah, it's been impressive. You know, all the numbers, I'm sure by the time this thing ends, are going to be astronomical. But that says as much about this offense as it does maybe about the poor defensive performance we're seeing tonight. But these are 2 teams that clearly know what's on the line. Clearly, this has a playoff postseason feel. And we see these star players like Bonkers we're seeing here with this tremendous run. Really, the cream is rising to the top here when both teams need it the most.
Here's a look at Kidd's 49-yard field goal attempt. And lots of first half highlights coming right at you as New Orleans is up 24-17 and up a half a game on Atlanta, trying to even the season series with 2 games left on their schedule. We're back for more here on the SFL Network on Twitch when we return to the Hive after a word from our sponsors in a moment. Stay tuned. APM Music is the official theme music provider of the SFL. Listen to their Champions Will Rise soundtrack at apmmusic.com and visit their all-new esports landing page to find the best highlight music, heroic action, and epic sounds to boost the quality of your esports stream just like us. Log on to forum.apmmusic.com/esports for more information. APM Music, production music library, and custom music house. The Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music, is brought to you by Show Business Studios, by MediaTek Institute, by Richards Printworks, by ScoreStream, and by Spygoat. So, a lot of conversation about what is going on with Aaron Arrington tonight. And I gotta tell you, Steven, I don't have an answer for you because Aaron Arrington is not available, and I don't know if he's dealing with some sort of residual injury. People have said that they've seen him on the sideline, or on the sideline on defense, but returning kicks tonight. I'm telling you, I've never seen this before. It's the way of the sim gods, apparently, or whatever, but Aaron Arrington's dealing with some sort of residual something tonight, and I'm not sure if we're going to see him back in the game.
Yeah, are we sure that he didn't retire at halftime?
That is very funny, but still, obviously, a very serious situation for New Orleans because whatever happened to Aaron Arrington here tonight could have an impact on the end of this game, but not if Xander Gold continues to play the way that he's played.
Yeah, certainly. This is one we're gonna definitely. I think a lot of us are gonna go back and go watch and see when number 24 was on the field, and if he got injured or when he was actually pulled out or if he pulled himself out. Really big topic to follow.
Bonkers gets a first down to move the chains to the 38, and what's lost in this is just how dominant New Orleans offense has been in this ball game. A complete sort of unexpected, especially the way the first game played.
Yeah, and you could really see the possibilities here if the passing game and the running game both get on track at the same time. This offense is as good as any here in the SFL, as that great completion is made right over the middle of the field.
Pass caught by Ermac Jackson, 750 bits from Easy Temple, 200 bits from Ron Cochran. The bits are flowing tonight. 800 from Lord Destro Productions. Appreciate that. We saw that earlier in the game. Mix up to 700 as well. And we'll get to more on the SFL as a whole in a moment. Second down and 1. Bonkers has a first down. Steven, we know this is what is this now? The 810th game, right? Or 809th game of the SFL season. Some games just stand out on their own. There is just something freaky about it every once in a while, and I'm telling you, I've never seen a player pull himself out of a game before.
It's always something, isn't it, Cam? This is a game that keeps on giving. There's always a new wrinkle that we see, something we've never seen before. That's what's wonderful about this league and the platform that we have.
Leroy Brown, 69 yards, 4 catches, and a touchdown. That is his 4th reception. Let's go to Scott LaRue's live stat tracker to get some updates on our game tonight. Xander Gold, 16 of 18, 159 yards, a touchdown, no picks. Marcus Dunhill, 16 of 20, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, 133 yards. Bonkers, 138 yards on 9 carries. Hollywood not too shabby either, 65 yards on 18 carries. 2nd and 5 at the Atlanta 46. The handoff goes to Bonkers, and this time Bonkers is wrestled down in the backfield, bringing up a 3rd down and long as Atlanta looks for their first true defensive stop of the half, not counting the last possession of the second quarter for New Orleans.
And one thing between these two teams as they're battling, the one thing we haven't been seeing, Ken, that we see more of really across the league is how much pressure on the quarterback affects play. And these defenses have struggled to get to the quarterbacks tonight.
Gold on 3rd down and 7. All day to throw, and the pass is caught over the middle of the field for a first down to the 32-yard line. That is Jaquez Lynch with the reception. Gold spreading it everywhere.
Yeah, look, Gold is non-biased about spreading the ball. He will spread the ball to anybody that is open. But again, let's go back to the protection. Just giving him a clean pocket. you give this kid a clean pocket like that, he will dissect you, and he's showing that right there. Atlanta needs to get pressure on him.
Man, we are having a night. I know there's only 57 people here, and I say that saying that we had some big numbers at the beginning of the season, but this is a boisterous 57. I don't think I've ever seen the chat going this fast all season long, as that is a 5-yard pickup for Gold again through the air to the Atlanta 27.
Well, this is the SFL faithful that are here on Monday night. You know, as the season progresses, we usually see a lull in our audience, but the faithful stay strong. Glad to see you guys are active.
2nd and 5 of the Atlanta 27, and Gold flips it out to Bonkers, and Bonkers can't break away from the tackle. Excellent play on the outside made by Josh Vasquez, and another 3rd down coming up for New Orleans. And Steven, New Orleans is 3 of 4 on 3rd down tonight.
Yeah, they have been an unstoppable juggernaut. But let's go back to that play. What a great open tackle by Vasquez. You know, if Bonkers is able to get turned and start to use that momentum, he can take off and fly.
And off to Bonkers, broke a tackle and got the 1st down to the 16-yard line. Atlanta had him dead to rights, and Bonkers, the former Renegade, continues to enjoy a sensational evening.
Well, there is nothing slow about this guy's play style. He does everything at 110 miles per hour, Cam, and he's got that audio speed that we've already seen tonight. Just a dangerous playmaker who seems to be really feeling himself tonight.
6:40 to go in the 3rd. 2 backs, 3 receivers, handoff, Donk again. Donk breaking through a tackle, spinning away from another, spins and pushes on the pile for a 1st down to the 5. Donk Bonkers unleashed tonight in the Hive.
Wow, the entire repertoire on display in that one run. He's got the speed, he's got the power to push through that tackle, the spin move, the finesse, the footwork, the field vision. We're seeing it all on display.
1st and goal at the 5. 6:12 to go in the 3rd, and I'm already exhausted. I'm just exhausted. 4 wide, 2 to either side. 7 in the box for Atlanta. Handoff, Bonkers now running left. He gets strung out, but breaks a tackle anyway, down to the goal line, and stopped at the 1. 162-yard for Bonkers, and every time it looks like he's going to be tackled to the backfield, Donk finds a way.
Well, just 11 yards away from 1,000 on the season there, Cam. Most SFL running backs would have been stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He follows his backs, and he has the power to push forward.
Gold going to throw at the 1-yard line. Fires it outside, nearly intercepted. And you cannot, Steven, test these swarm defenders in the red zone. They've had so many in-zone picks this year.
Well, this may be a result of Bonkers just needing a bit of a breather. And a dangerous pass there is that kind of 50X spot kind of route there just allowed the defender, really read it well, read the quarterback's eyes, got his hands on it. Dangerous.
Single high safety, everybody up there. Gold going to throw. Gold out to Donk. Bonkers going to walk in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. They've done it again. Yeah,
the Pharaohs love this formation. You know, the tight ends on either side with no wide outs. And as soon as I saw that, I thought, okay, if they're going to pass, it's going to be to Bonkers, because they like that little swing play this close to the end zone, and it works to perfection. And why not? This guy is the number 2 receiver out of the backfield, so some of the surest hands on the team, actually leads the team in receptions for a reason.
Steven, there's a lot of game left, and Aaron Arrington, people saying in the chat that he sacrificed himself to some pagan god or something, because this is one of, even without Arrington on the field, there's a lot of game left. This is one of the greatest performances I've seen out of an expansion team in a long time, in such a critical game and moment here in primetime on Twitch.
Well, it's an important time too to get hot for New Orleans as they are, creeping into postseason relevance. This is what you want to see out of your team on the road to give you hope that you can find postseason success, because we've got a lot of juggernauts at the top of the standings that need to be taken down, and the Pharaohs look like a team who could do it.
Allen returns to the 31. Pretty good return there. I thought he was going to string it out. So 5:21 left. Atlanta's down by 14, and we didn't get a chance to finish up our stat recap from Scott LaRue's first half. Of course, everything is live with our live stats team. You can join the live stats team by contacting Scott LaRue. They are a huge help, and it's a lot of fun on the back end of our league. Boo Chisholm, 6 catches, 54 yards, and a touchdown. Siege Falco has the other touchdown, and on the flip side for New Orleans, 4 catches, 69 yards, and a score for Leroy Brown has been their top player. BDG Hollywood now pushing the pile forward, near another first down, still averaging 4 yards a carry.
Well, good to see that Atlanta's not giving up on the running game quite yet. And Hollywood, why when Hollywood's running like he's running tonight here, a 9-yard gain gives you a 2nd and 1, puts you in great position. But you gotta have the feeling, Cam, that Atlanta's offense seemed to cool off a little bit, and maybe that's just in juxtaposition of what the Pharaohs have been doing because they've been so hot on the offensive side of the ball.
And off to Hollywood, he did not get it. Dropped behind the line or at the line of scrimmage by Andre Daniels, who has put some pressure on Hollywood earlier tonight. Hey, I gotta keep giving some shout outs here. Crash Combs, subscribe with a tier 1 sub. That is his 7th month subscribing in a row. Easy Temple, now 1,800 bits tonight. 1,500 bits from Mix. 800 from Lord Destro, 500 from TJ Cag SFL, 300 as Hollywood picks up the first down from I'm Having Problem Football Dude, 93, Gooner Bear with 200, R. Cochran with 200, T. Pattern 80 with 200, Kaz McFly with 100. It has been the SFL support tonight unwavering as we are seeing. It feels like playoff football, doesn't it, Steven? So exciting to be back in this time of the season.
Yeah, and the Pharaohs and the Swarm are giving us a great show tonight. And I think everybody feels it with us, just the excitement that's happening right now. Whoa, what's a nice one-handed catch there, number 84.
Javon Walker, what a play by Walker, and a nice quick throw from Dunhill to pick up 5. The JDR project in here saying New Orleans looking strong. Isn't his wife giving birth right now? Or about to give birth? What are you doing in here, man? We're all thinking of you, though. As that news broke earlier today, getting a win yesterday as well, was Indianapolis. Dunhill, far side, wide open, caught Siege Falco. No, they said it was out of bounds. I'd challenge if I was Atlanta. I thought that was a sure thing, Steven.
Yeah, I thought so as well, and let's see if Atlanta feels the same way. They do. Let's take a look at try to figure out what the Stripes saw on this one. They've had some questionable calls in this game, Cam. And it hasn't always gone the way we thought it would, so maybe that's typical of the Stripes for us. But let's take a look here and see if he's able to get at least 1 foot in.
Yeah.
That's an easy call.
You gotta call that a catch.
After review, the play stands.
Oh, the play stands. What did I'm telling you? I really do think that Aaron Arrington gave his life. I mean, this is unbelievable. As Atlanta is going to lose a timeout, another, well, that one more egregious than the end zone one because obviously debatable that he needed a 2nd foot. But Siege Falco in play. Now it's a critical 3rd down and 5. Mark Chisholm can't believe it as Atlanta's having all kinds of trouble here tonight, down 2 scores. 3rd down and 5, Dunhill, 5-step drop, great pocket. Dunhill wide open, Chisholm, but then coming in to knock the ball away was, I believe, Gary Bertier over the middle, and it forces a 4th down for the Swarm.
Well, maybe it's the ghost of Aaron Arrington out there that knocked the ball away.
Me in the chat. Oh, my gosh.
He wrecked a statue in his memory. After this game, Arrington's going to be a legend for not being in the ball game, which is great. But, if you're Atlanta, this is just bad news all the way around. And, look, let's not kid ourselves. Wow, look at the spin move.
Look at this. Look at on the return. He's going to go. Aaron Arrington is back. You've got to be kidding me. Touchdown, New Orleans. All right. I've seen it all. I'm out. I quit.
Somebody touch that man to make sure your hand doesn't pass through him. That could be the reason they weren't. Look at the spin moves like a ghost.
Oh
Cam.
my gosh!
They can't even get their hands on him. He's all spirit. Their hands are passing through him. Where have you been, Aaron Arrington? and I guess whatever he's been doing on the sideline does the body good because he comes out fully rested and puts on some flashy moves.
Steven, that may be the greatest SFL play of all time. That is
maybe the greatest storyline we've had ever in a game.
That is unbelievable. I literally don't know what to even think about this. This is, stunning. This is stunning. I told y'all at halftime. Everybody talking about depth chart. I told you guys. It was fine.
Well, Aaron Arrington
it's just unbelievable.
He pulls a complete Casper on everybody, Cam, and then just suddenly decides to appear and give the Pharaohs a 21-point lead. Insane.
If I was New Orleans, I'd say go back to the sideline. Just stay over there. Maybe they'll forget about you again. This is the wildest game I have seen in a long time as LB Allen returns out to the 30-yard line. And the New Orleans Pharaohs are just in straight-up party mode right now. And there's still, Steven, a quarter and change to go. This game is not over, especially the way Atlanta has been moving the football at times tonight.
Well, New Orleans is a party town, so they're ready to celebrate anything at the drop of a hat, and surely got a lot to celebrate tonight.
New Orleans is high for points in a game coming into this season. Twice they scored 34, and twice it was against the Oklahoma City Renegades as that pass is caught for 14 yards by Falco.
Yeah, and let's not forget, look, Atlanta showed signs early in this game that they were going to go, point for point, head-to-head with New Orleans, and they've certainly lost some of their steam, but there's still a lot of time in this ball game. And it sounds, 21 points, that's a lot. That's a 3-score. But, this is the Swarm at home. And they traditionally have been good at home. So, still not out of this yet. Need to make it interesting here on this drive.
From the 5, Dunhill looking around, fires it deep into some coverage, incomplete. Looking deep there for Javon Walker. And it's second down with 2:19 to go in the third. Is this real life? I still cannot wrap my head around what I'm seeing tonight on Fan Night. That's why the SFL is the SFL. It's just magical.
And the Swarm looking Walker's direction here. They've got 3-star contracted wide receivers out there going to Hollywood here down the middle.
And the handoff on second down and 10. Good patience there from Atlanta, as the last thing they want to do is put New Orleans' offense back out on the field, makes that a much more manageable third down.
And that's the second time in this half I've seen Hollywood stay on the ground for an extra 2 or 3 seconds. Not a good sign. He may be dealing with some type of ailment, which, according to Aaron Arrington, might actually work in this team's favor.
Hand off Hollywood, first down, and man, he took a lick. That was Bertier. One moment Hollywood was running, and another he wasn't.
Yeah, well, this guy is fearless between the tackles, Cam. I mean, defenders, often they slide off him just because he has that body armor to take that kind of punishment. But how much punishment can he take, and how much longer can they go to him and not have to win this game through the air?
Back to pass is Dunhill, and Dunhill, tremendous pocket, it's breaking down, he's going to go down at the 49-yard line, sacked by Marcellus Mitchell.
And this is exactly what we needed to see more of here in the second half, is getting pressure on these quarterbacks. Unfortunately for Atlanta, they're down and it's happening to them. So remember, these are 2 rookies under center, Cam. They don't have a lot of games under their belt, and they can get rattled. And we just haven't seen a lot of pressure on them tonight.
Back to pass, Dunhill fires it outside Hollywood, and BDG Hollywood picks up just 3. So third down and long coming up for Atlanta, just outside of field goal range. Field goals aren't going to win this game tonight. As look at Aaron Arrington in the background of that shot. He's everywhere. It's unbelievable, man.
A ghostly figure photo bombing.
Like Aaron Rodgers in those captain photos. 3rd down and 11 at the 46. 4 wide for Dunhill. Going, taking a deep shot. Falco. First down to the 27-yard line. Falco taking a shot to the gut and still holds on.
We saw this exact same play, except it went to Boo Chisholm instead of Falco, but it was successful either time. Looks like a fade route. A lot of speed on the outside goes Falco, but then he cuts it inside, and Dunhill finds him, delivers a dart.
Oh, we need a break. Thank goodness it's the end of the quarter. 38-17, New Orleans on top of Atlanta. Down the stretch in SFL Season 11. We're back after this.
Here at MediaTek, our goal is to create a well-rounded media professional. MediaTek is a place where you can turn dreams into reality. Our comprehensive recording arts, digital film, animation, mobile apps, and web development courses are focused on being very hands-on. We are a career-focused school. Our instructors are not only great teachers, they are also working professionals with real-world experience. MediaTek, come see what your future holds.
Show Business Studios can take your dream and make it reality. Any show, anytime, any place. Show Business Studios is limited only by your imagination. Find us at showbusinessstudios.com.
The Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music, is also brought to you in part by Show Business Studios, MediaTek Institute, Richards Printworks, ScoreStream, and SpyGoat. Well, Steven, I don't know what we haven't seen, but 809 games later, there's still always something that we just didn't think about. 1st and 10 for the 27. Atlanta is driving. Here on the Fan Night Game of the Weekend, Hollywood fumbled! It's recovered by the Pharaohs! Recovery by free safety Curtis Compton, and New Orleans has another turnover.
Wow, just, we've seen teams crumble under pressure. Kind of just feels that's what's happening here with Atlanta. An avalanche of points and just great performances by the Pharaohs, and suddenly all this pressure is on Atlanta's offense to get them back in the game. And boy, just a tough result there in the fumble for Hollywood, who played so well in this game.
And out the bonkers, he's smothered, loss of 3. That's the best Atlanta's looked against him all night. Still averaging 11 yards a carry. Way back to the score for New Orleans. Mix the gamer with 500 bits. 100 bits from T-Pat, 200 from Lord Destro Productions, and from T-Pat, maybe one of the best comments of the night. He says, literally the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think we're going to look back in that game and think that exact same thing, how just weird and wonderful it was, and what exactly happened to Double A there in the first half.
Getting that ball out to Jackson, and now if you're Atlanta, you start talking about the game possibly. I mean, they got probably about the next possession. They're going to need to score on the next possession, so it's not done yet. But you start talking about Oklahoma City, and that's your last chance, right, to win a game this season, because you're staring 5 and 6 in the face right now. This is a deep shot from Gold. That pass is knocked away again. Great play from Pat Ketza, but they've really taken him out of this game tonight because New Orleans hasn't really thrown deep down the sideline.
Yeah, initially it looked like they were going to be really a pass-heavy game plan in this game. They transitioned that very successfully into a run game, and then they've got another touchdown through special teams. So, they've actually, had an opportunity to kind of ease back here, and it feels like with 10 minutes, just under 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, they're just trying to run the clock at this point.
Well, Atlanta does a tremendous job. They get a 3 and out quickly off that fumble. So doing nothing with it was the New Orleans offense for the first time tonight, Stephen. That was their first stop as L.B. Allen on the punt return.
Yeah, so the punter well rested to make that kick there, but that's just the kind of night that New Orleans has been. And, you know, in that first half, we thought this was going to be a neck-and-neck battle all the way throughout, and the Swarm have just cooled off here in the second half.
9:43 to go in the fourth quarter. 3 receivers, 2 off the right side for Marcus Dunhill. And Dunhill will throw near side pass, caught by Falco, picks up 6. 5 catches for 59 yards and a touchdown. And looking at Xander Gold's numbers now, 21 of 25, 182 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no picks tonight. The number 1 overall pick in the draft. Sensational.
Yeah, and let's give a lot of credit to his offensive line, really giving him a clean pocket tonight and not a lot of pressure. So, you know, that's a guy that if you give him that kind of time, he can kill you.
Chisholm open on the sideline, rushing out there to try to cover it at the last chance was Maurice Howard. It seems to be sort of a group effort on corner tonight as Boo Chisholm moves the chains, so still 9:19 left. It's a 3-touchdown game for Atlanta to try to overcome, and they're starting to, once again, build some good momentum here in the fourth.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised they called that inbounds. The way this refereeing crew has made those questionable on the sidelines, I'm not sure what's inbound and out of bounds anymore.
Dunhill sacked from behind. Getting pressure in the back for the second time tonight is Mitchell.
Yeah, just powering through, you know, with the nice arm swipe there at the end, but just Dunhill taking too much time, waiting for his receivers to try and get separation. At some point, that eternal clock's got to tell you to either run the ball or throw it away.
So 5 wide for Dunhill. Out of the shotgun, dime 3-2 look. Dunhill needs a big play here on 2nd and 15 after the sack. New Orleans rushes 4, a 4th late. They got half of it back there. L.B. Allen with the reception to the Atlanta 48-yard line. So another 3rd down and long coming up for Marcus Dunhill and the Swarm, who need to make something happen on this drive.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they feel this way, but I feel this way. This is 4-down territory for me. Not sure they're going to do that, but with the way the score is and where they are in the field, makes perfect sense.
Dunhill 4 wide, passing middle, caught, dragging defenders for the first down. L.B. Allen the third. He's come up with some crucial plays in this ball game tonight. That is catch number 5 for Allen.
And it's good that they're converting these first downs, Cam, and it's moving them down the field. But I just don't feel that sense of urgency. I'd like to see Atlanta take some deep shots to trying to get themselves back in this game as quickly as possible. Converting first downs is great, but not at the expense of the clock.
Especially with Chisholm out there with certainly a mismatch as the handoff goes to Hollywood, and Hollywood won't get anything. You know, lost on this game is the tremendous night for Marcus Dunhill. Had the interception on the first play of the game. Since then, 24 of 30 for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. No picks. He's been just as effective as Xander Gold has been.
Yeah, it's just I don't think that, he hasn't had his playmakers make the kind of special plays that we've seen. Certainly made some good plays tonight, but none of those breakaway game-changing plays.
And that ball deep, you wanted the deep shot, you got it. Looking for Falco in tight coverage down the middle of the field. So now it's 3rd down and 9. Stephen, Aaron Arrington was a Hall of Fame finalist this year. Didn't make the Hall of Fame. That may have cemented it. Did it not? That moment?
Well, it is, when the voters think about a guy that's up for candidacy, they think about the big moments in their career. And we've got a lot of the faithful here tonight that are going to remember this game as his, imprint game. So, yeah, I think it bodes well.
Dunhill short. Pass is caught. Now it's 4th and 5. Dunhill had to scramble away from some more pressure that was coming his way. I'm with you, Steven. I don't know if Atlanta's going to try to force the issue here with 5 yards to go, and Jenkins will punt it away. And I understand why they're doing the game's never over. You get a safety, then you get the ball back. But definitely a tough pill to swallow right now for Atlanta, who was in this ball game for almost the entire night. It's a great punt too. Down. No, they sent the ball across the line. Oh, nothing is going right for Atlanta in the second half.
Wow, Cam. Yeah, I mean, I believe that the rule is if the whatever the special teamer, wherever he's touching the ball and where his body is, if he got a foot in the end zone when he touched the ball, I don't know, but a break there for a New Orleans team who doesn't need one.
6:33 to go in the fourth quarter. Pharaohs up 38-17 in a game that I hope you brag about to people who didn't tune in tonight, because they're going to be sorry that they missed this one live, as Leroy Brown's pass, or reception rather, is called incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
They can always DVR it, but it's just not the same. You don't have that same interaction. That's what's great about this live chat room. We're all in it together. We're all experiencing it together, and it's like there's 60 of us in a big room like we were in the convention.
6:30 to go in the fourth. I tell you what, if this would have happened at the convention, there would have been some people out of their seats. People would have thought we were trying to get demons out or something. 3rd and 8. Blessed people on there putting the hand to the head and screaming in tongues and all sorts of stuff, because I tell you what, the Pharaohs rose tonight.
They sure did. Like that Blues Brothers scene in the church with just people doing cartwheels down the middle of the aisle. Yeah, it would have been crazy.
I was thinking of the Borat scene, but we're along the same lines. 3rd and 8 at the 22. This is a deep shot from Gold. Caught. 1st down to the 36. Pickup of 18 to Ermac Jackson.
All right, Gold, settle down. You got nothing needed to be proved anymore here. You have proved yourself, but just look at this perfect pass. The receiver able to get wide open in the zone, and Xander Gold showing off his field vision here, and just everything clicking and working for the Pharaohs to Atlanta's, demise.
5:33 to go in the fourth quarter. Gold still throwing it. Gold sidearm pass caught near a 1st down, picks up 9 yards. And hey, Steven, you know who I wouldn't want to be right now? Houston, because they got to play New Orleans next week.
If I know Houston, they are up for the challenge. They want to prove themselves in their defense against this New Orleans offense. So if there was one team, Cam, in the entire league that is well prepared to take on a hot team like this, I think it's Houston. They love the challenge.
Eddie Gage says we'll be ready in the chat. 2nd and 1, handoff Bonkers. Bonkers spins away, has a 1st down to the New Orleans 49-yard line. An update on Donk Bonkers' night. Before that run, well, now we're going to get the update. Thank you, Scott LaRue. Man, live stats are amazing. 16 carries for 165 yards and 2 touchdowns for Bonkers tonight. And Xander Gold has just 5 incompletions, no picks, and now has 13 touchdowns, 12 interceptions on the season, which is always tough to do as a quarterback, especially as a rookie, as Bonkers goes for no gain.
Yeah, and it looks like now that New Orleans is going to probably be calling Bonkers' number a lot more on this clock, and that bodes well for him in the sense that he is just, I believe, based on what you told me there, about 8 to 7 yards away from the 1,000-yard mark. So could get that milestone here momentarily.
2nd and 10 at the 49-yard line. Down to 4 minutes to go. New Orleans, every play they've called has kept the clock running on this drive. Handoff to Bonkers, picks up just 2. Even their passes, Steven. And we see teams all across the league struggle to get the game plan to work just as effective and as perfect as they want it to work. And you couldn't ask for a better drive right now for New Orleans, as they're just bleeding this game out in the fourth.
Yeah, as an offensive coordinator myself, and a coach and an owner, that these kind of games are the kind that you wish that you could bottle up some of what's happening in this game and take it to the next, because from game to game, unless you're one of the more elite teams here in the SFL, even they have their struggles in winning. So, this kind of chemistry, and it's a rare thing, and that's what we strive for as coaches and owners, to replicate that game in and game out. And it just, unfortunately, it doesn't work that way all the time. So, New Orleans, enjoy this. Don't let yourself get too high. Don't let yourself get too low, because it's a fickle game. It's a fickle game, and and you never know who's going to beat who on a weekly basis.
Trivia question tonight. New Orleans, this will be their 5th straight victory. Who was the last team the Pharaohs lost to? See if you can put that down in the chat as Allen returns up to the 20-yard line. And so now, outside of a miracle from Atlanta, which after what we've seen tonight, hey, let's see it happen for the first time in league history. And the chat, DR Sim is correct. TMG82 following suit. Atlanta was the last team to beat New Orleans in that 10-6 game that you and I called, Steven. They haven't lost since.
And did you ever get an answer to your Easter egg or even reveal that?
Oh, I did. It was down in the ticker.
Right.
And we were teasing some major announcements coming later this week. Hey, how about Jules Howard, who's been in for Arrington, just knocked that ball away?
Well, like I said, everything's just been working direction of New Orleans here in the second half. And for Howard there, I think a good all-around game for him, if I'm correct. He was returning kicks earlier as well, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So that's a lot, that's a lot of pressure to put on a role player, and him just coming to play tonight might have earned himself an extra look or two when contract time comes along.
I'm not sure we're ever going to get the answer to what happened to him tonight. I'm not sure that we're ever going to get the answer because it's beyond my depth of explanation. It just was what it was tonight. It's really, really, truly bizarre stuff as Chisholm makes the catch on actually that's Allen on the sideline, makes the catch, but it's short of the first down with 2:07 to go.
I have a bit of a theory on that. I think I'd like to go back and see if he was initially in the game, and that if maybe where his disappearance happened was when Atlanta was in that no-huddle hurry-up.
Which they haven't run since.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if maybe got caught up in that and wasn't reported.
And Dunhill's pass is caught, but it's short of the sticks. But the offside penalty is going to give Atlanta a first down and keep the drive moving for the Swarm. Yeah, I mean, even if he never took the field, he was out there for coin toss. He obviously was out there playing initially as an up returner, and then out of nowhere decides, I'm going to take one. It's the only one he's returned all night. It was for a touchdown. It's just bizarre. And I have to check on Aaron Arrington. And DR Sim suggests that maybe he has an injury that only allows him to come into certain situations, into the game for certain situations. So maybe he's in limited action. And New Orleans just decided, hey, we need a spark. Here's another offside penalty. Certainly not something that I've seen. However, what I have seen also, remember the Louisville DC game when Derek Overstreet broke his arm, came back into the game, visibly hurt with the broken arm, because it was his off arm, it was the left arm, and attempted to carry Louisville to victory. It was a long time ago. Do you remember that game, Steven?
I do. Yeah, like Willis Reed back in the day for the New York Knicks comes out of the locker room to try and capture the win. But yeah, that was certainly strange. But I think this is because of the mystery surrounding what happened to Arrington. I think this is even bigger. But as far as the spark is concerned, as that one there nearly looks like almost bounced in the air and picked off. For me is the fact that they were already up 14, so didn't really need to have a spark to go up to 21. So why use him at that point? But what was the, and we haven't seen him since. So it is just weird on, weird on both ways, because I believe Overstreet stayed in that game.
Look at the president. He knows the exact date of the game. I think he has watched Season 5's championship run. I think he, every morning for breakfast, he watches, a game from the season, and then he just repeats the process.
Hey, if
the
I
next
won a
week.
chip, I'd be reliving that as much as possible myself. I'm with you.
3rd down and 10 at the 44. We'll take another look at the playoff picture here after this play from Dunhill. And certainly Atlanta, New Orleans kind of calmed down, and Atlanta's just been trying to work things out since the huge momentum shift. And that pass is ruled incomplete to Falco. I don't know about that. And that was a 4 on it. Don't tell me that was Arrington out there. We're going to get a review here on this play. So while we get a review on this inconsequential catch or no catch here on 3rd down and 10. So New Orleans is going to improve to 6-4 because they have the tiebreak on Houston. That will move them into that number 5 spot behind Mexico City. And actually, we'll have to see what their tiebreakers look like against the Aztecs now. Atlanta will fall to 5-6. They're in dangerous territory because they've got Las Vegas, Sioux Falls, Chicago, Houston, all to compete with for one of those final spots. They're definitely going to need to beat Oklahoma City next week in their final game of the season. And by the way, that was overturned, so that is a first down for Atlanta at the 41-yard line. But Atlanta's backs are up against it, and they may end up 6-6. And in week 13, look at this, wide open. That pass is caught. That's an Atlanta touchdown to Boo Chisholm. With 1:40 to go, they still have 2 timeouts.
Yeah, and Boo extends his touchdowns now to 5 on the season. But, Cam, you never want to be in a position where, one, you have to win a game, your final game of the season, and that still doesn't guarantee you a spot. You may need some help. You just, then it's just out of your hands, and you never want to be in that spot. But if you're in Atlanta, you just got to control what you can control and do your best to win against Oklahoma City in your next game, and then just hope the football gods are with you and that you're able to just get your foot in the postseason, in the playoffs, and then anything can happen. Everybody's basically at 0-0 once the playoffs start, so can get in there and do some surprising things. But boy, I clearly would love to be in New Orleans' position here, coming off such a hot game. If they can continue this streak, against Houston next, they've got to be, in a lot of people's eyes, a favorite to topple one of the top teams, and I'd be scared to face them if they're able to put back-to-back performances like this together.
So here we go. Onside kick for Atlanta, trying to keep the game alive, and it's recovered. Don't tell me by Aaron Arrington now. Recovered by number 44, Maurice Howard. Another corner that was been out there that we've seen a couple of times here tonight. Still not over. Atlanta's got 2 timeouts, but it just got tougher.
Yeah, if Arrington gets that one, just skip the ceremony and give him the gold jacket tonight. We don't even need to take a vote.
1:38 to go in the 4th. New Orleans up 38-24. The handoff to Bonkers. He won't go anywhere. Boy, they've really done a good job on him in the 4th quarter. He's done nothing as Atlanta is down to 1 timeout with 1:35 remaining.
Yeah, and you know that Bonkers likely knows that he's very close to that 1,000-yard mark. So he's got a little motivation here. But again, like I said, Atlanta's defense maybe a little too late, obviously, but still able to show that he can be stopped.
2nd down and 11. Handoff to Bonkers running right, and Donk Bonkers gets away near a first down, but definitely into field goal range. Timeout Atlanta. That's their last and one last look at the playoff picture coming into tonight.
And that should be enough, actually, for Bonkers to get that 1,000-yard mark. But I'm sure that he doesn't care about the stat as much as he cares about getting in here to the postseason. And I still look at the juggernauts at the top of that list, Cam, Alaska and Tallahassee. And you think about an expansion team like New Orleans maybe coming in and play spoiler.
Donk Bonkers gets the first down, 1,000-yard season under his belt, one of his better games of his career, and that's all she wrote. And please, Stephen, go on. I just wanted to congratulate Donk there.
No, worthy of being noted there for sure. But yeah, who among these teams is ever going to be able to topple, the two top undefeated teams? We need someone to step up. Undefeated teams isn't great for parity in this league, and we need to know that these teams that are at the top can be stopped, and that we're not going to see an Alaska Tallahassee championship. And I think New Orleans, for those people who feel that way, New Orleans, their performance tonight, got to give you hope that teams that we're not talking about right now, that aren't up there at the top of the standings, are starting to congeal and put things together at the right time and possibly play spoilers and make things a very interesting postseason for us.
So a kneel down for New Orleans in what can only be described as a magical night for the Pharaohs, as everything, all phases of the game, just seemed to just fall the way of the Pharaoh. It was an unbelievable performance, and it came at the worst time for Atlanta. And I think, sometimes it's hard to tell, Stephen, whether a team loses a game or a team wins a game, because there's so many variables. But I think you got to give Atlanta a pass on this one. New Orleans won this game, no doubt in my mind.
Well, certainly something seemed to be with them in this game. It just seemed like they just got this initial start that was hot, and Atlanta matched them, but Atlanta just couldn't stay with them. And here is this Arrington play here that's really, when's the last time we had a game that is going to be remembered for a player for not playing, not being in the field, and then coming out and really making one play. He made one tremendous, memorable play, and this game is going to go down as the Aaron Arrington game. Everyone's going to connect this game with him, and I think that's wonderful. I love the mystery of it, the uniqueness of it. And you know what? The fact that the chat had so much fun with it tonight, it's just, a boost. But yeah, I agree to some point. I think Atlanta's defense surely could have played better. We saw them play better in the second half, especially when it didn't matter as much. So where was that in the first half? So I do blame Atlanta's defense a bit. And let's not forget, they were in their home stadium, and they gave up the ghost. So a literal ghost in Aaron Arrington in this game.
Well, crazy all night. You got a feel for the Swarm now, 5-6. Their backs up against the wall. Still certainly in the playoff conversation, and a monster game against Oklahoma City coming up next week. New Orleans, same thing. They play 6-4 Houston to decide that tiebreaker once and for all. Houston wants revenge off a 20-17 defeat from the first time they played the Pharaohs. Thanks to everybody in the chat. DRSim80, Eric, JDWA, The Moon King, T Paternity, Swole 2011, Vancouver Legion, Ethan, Kai 66, Pure 2K12, Xander Gold, Kanye Rockefeller. If you picked tonight to watch the SFL in primetime, you made a smart decision. For Scott LaRue on Stats, Stephen Mullinex, I'm Cameron Irvine. Good night.
Wait, goodbye, Cam.